by 2015, proposed new rules allowing women to become bishops have a good chance to get through church bureaucracy. The announcement came last week when Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, signed off a new plan to be sent up crucifixion hills, so to speak. If approved by the General Synod, each diocese would be required to have a bishop willing to ordain a woman to the priesthood. However, it is not all peaches and cream just yet. The mishmash of theological interpretations mixed with politics has created a divide among the various denominations. Some Orthodox traditionalists remain opposed to women becoming bishops, citing the position as being contradictory to Scripture. Meanwhile, other Protestant denominations currently allow a woman to be ordained. Female bishops are already serving in Australia, Canada, and in the U.S. This new plan comes on the heels of an earlier ruling last January that allowed celibate gay bishops to serve. Police estimate that 150,000 people marched in Paris last week, protesting the country's new law allowing gay marriage. Demanding reform of the legislation, protesters waved flags and aired their negative opinion of French President François Hollande. The protests were heavily backed by the Roman Catholic Church. The church was unable to block the new gay marriage legislation from being enacted, so it is now focused on pressuring officials to change their tune. Conservative opposition party leader Jean-Francois Cope tactfully urged the young protesters to join his party. He said that the next rendezvous should be at the ballot boxes for the municipal elections. The march was mostly peaceful until late in the day when police clashed with several hundred far-right militants. Reports are that close to 100 were arrested for refusing to disperse after the rally or for trespassing on private property. Survey data showed that 53% of French voters support the right to gay marriage and adoption. It also showed a whopping 72% thinking that the protests should stop immediately. France has followed over a dozen other countries that have enacted laws protecting the rights of same-sex couples to wed. Some of these countries include Canada, Denmark, New Zealand, and Sweden. In the United States, 12 states have legalized same-sex marriage. Cardinal George Pell recently testified before Victoria State investigators concerning the church's sex abuse scandals. The highest-ranking Catholic in Australia testified that the system put in place in 1998 to address sexual abuse was ineffective. Pell finally had to admit that it was far from perfect. He also admitted that the church had covered up instances of abuse, that records had been destroyed, and that pedophile priests had been relocated to different parishes. Pell revealed that the church had continued to pay wages to Father John Pickering, who fled to England after child abuse allegations had been made. Pickering had refused to help police investigators and refuses to return to Australia to face his accusers. Pell noted that as long as a priest is a priest, canon law requires a bishop to support them. Cardinal Pell answered questions aimed at him specifically, but denied any personal involvement. When asked, "Were you guilty of willful blindness?" the cardinal claimed that he certainly was not. He pointed to a culture of silence within the church for allowing these crimes to fester. He repeatedly apologized to victims, saying that he was often misunderstood. The 71-year-old church leader said, "I have always been on the side of the victims," but by his own testimony, he was clearly not well informed and took little action. Victim David O'Brien testified that he had been raped over 20 times and received $27,000 as compensation. Pell called that amount miserly, but defended Australian law that make suing the church fugitive. He added, "We were more than happy to pay according to the prevailing Australian norms." The cardinal continued to apologize throughout the day and concluded with the commitment to lament the suffering and doing what I can to improve the situation.